Reddit, I'm not joking. I need to get fired in 1 day, guaranteed. Okay, a little bit more info. I am hooked to an employment contract with my current job that says that if I voluntarily leave the job within my first 12 months of working there, I must pay them several $1,000s, big money, for the fees and expenses that they've incurred related to hiring me. Similarly, it states that if I take them to court, they have the right to collect all court fees from me. And now I've received a much better job offer that I can't refuse. So now it seems that the only way out without paying is to involuntarily quit my job. You must help me get fired. You show up at work and go straight to your boss's office. You tell him that there's something you need to talk about. When you sit down, start telling him how you're possessed with strong desire of lust with his wife, and how you will pursue her no matter what it takes. You will be fired. Just don't show up. They'll fire you for not showing up. You didn't quit. Examine the contract to see what it says about getting fired for incompetence, i.e., not showing up. And if you want to maintain your professional relationships, just let your boss know that you had something come up, and you can't show up for at least several weeks, and you're unsure when you'll be able to show up next. If you want to help them wrap up whatever work you were doing, offer to telecommute a couple hours a week to wrap up the projects, or transfer them to someone else. No need to do something over the top here. Be civil and real, and just move on with your life as best possible. Reenact the self-beating up scene from Fight Club. Just call out sick every day until they fire you, but whatever you do, tell them you plan on coming back as soon as you're better. Yeah, I say this is the best option. Step 1. Take other job. Step 2. Just stop showing up at your old job. Step 3. Collect 2 paychecks for as long as you can. Step 4. Profit. Most companies have clauses in their contracts or employment application that you can only hold one full-time job at a time, that you cannot be employed by anyone else while employed at this particular company. You'll get sued and you will lose. On the other hand, the courts also tend to rule against contracts that force people to pay to leave a job. It smells too much like slavery, I guess. Also, he could ask his new company to put him on the books as a part-time employee until his last company gives up. I know of a few people who have been in the exact same situation you're in. This may sound odd, but honestly your best bet would be to ask your direct report to fire you. This has worked for multiple people I know. People are more understanding than you would imagine, and if you go to your supervisor or manager and explain your situation, he or she might surprise you with understanding. Also, it wouldn't hurt to do something nice for him/her in the wake of this favor. For example, offer to help train your replacement for free from your new job. Perhaps give your cell and personal email so they can contact you with some help. If I were your manager and you came to me reasonably and like an adult and said that you need this for your own personal growth and you'd like to make the transition of you leaving as easy on me and the company as possible, I would have absolutely no problem helping you out. Go to talk to people at their desks and start humping their shoulder. Hump the water cooler. Hump the receptionist. Watch Norp. Eat other people's lunches. Drink some beers and just drop the empties. Eat something that will bother your stomach and drop stinky ass everywhere. Yank the power cords or network cables or USB from everything. Turn annoying sounds on your phone. Smoke at your desk. Hire an extremely fast lawyer to find a way to invalidate the contract. You will lose your dignity with this one. 1. Turn up to work dressed as a woman. Seriously. 2. Everyone will stare and make fun. 3. Make a complaint that the workplace doesn't accept your sexual gender preferences. 4. Capture defamatory emails, use as evidence. 5. Blackmail HR that you will sue unless an agreement for you to leave is met. I was hesitant in posting this suggestion, but after reading the other suggestions, this one isn't so stupid. Pay them the big money. It's the deal you made. You agreed to the contract, you signed the contract. Years back I worked with a guy at a consulting company. The same type of place, very difficult to get fired. Well, he just stopped showing up. He would answer his phone, and schedule meetings, accept other meetings, and just not show. He collected a paycheck for 8 months before he was fired, and the entire time he was working for a competitor, collecting 2 paychecks. It was a pretty badass way to do it. Place a copy of the Victoria's Secret catalog on your boss' desk. Make sure that each model's face is replaced with your photos of your boss. Write your name and phone number on the front cover. On top of the catalog, place a diseased pigeon carcass impaled with a cocktail stick. On the top of the cocktail stick, impale a small square of their most disliked cheese. Start on a subject you know your boss will disagree on. When the boss postures his/her point, scream, "You're an overpaid idiot." Be loud and dramatic when you scream. Oh wait, new idea. Install Vista on all the computers. You'll be fired by noon. This is completely unimaginative, but just pay the fee. If this job is so desirable, the expense will be justified. If, as you say, this place does not readily fire someone, then it will take epic effort to get fired in one day, guaranteed. However, if it takes epic effort, then chances are it will affect your future employment potential. This will take a delicate balancing act and lots of luck. I can offer you nothing. The only way to get fired in a day is for cause. That taints your future career. You can get fired, but if you're in the kind of place you are, they're not going to do that for just being an a-hole. They're going to think you fit in if it's just that. To get fired, you're going to need to go way beyond what you would do over a course of weeks, months to establish incompetence. To get fired in a day, piss off the right person, someone in HR. But you've got to absolutely explode in their face, preferably in the presence of customers. Other than assault, breaking stuff, theft, getting fired in a day in an organization with a big administrative wing, not a chance. And keep your dignity too? Are you one of the people who buys a Super Bowl ticket and fully expects to win? It's not sure that if your new-to-be employer learns about what you did to get fired, they're not going to think, what is this guy going to do if he finds the next best offer? I'd be extremely careful with doing stupid stuff. You can sell, "I wanted to work for you guys so bad I just left the other place and ate the fees for leaving early." Selling, "I did this massively outrageous thing to get fired so that I didn't incur a loss for leaving early, just to get to work for you," is a lot harder. Mental stability. Come in drunk as you can possibly get. Just be really, really loud, and don't stop. Don't touch anything, just get really fucking loud. Proclaim your drunkenness, show up really late. Wear a dress. Not sure if that's really compatible with the whole dignity thing, but it could work. Profess love for boss. Say you're unable to be there without being with him, assuming him. Hopefully he will be so uncomfortable but weirdly flattered that he will allow you free exit. Approach your boss and tell him the situation. Then offer him half of $XXX if he fires you. That way you get out of the job right away, and you only pay half the fee, and the boss gets some easy money. Win-win. Go into work with just a boombox and a cooler full of hot dogs, cooked or not, your choice. Sit at your desk and say, "Well, it's 8 o'clock, time to get to work." Then just eat the hot dogs, one after another, acting as if nothing is out of the ordinary. If you get a phone call, answer it with the words, "Party Central." When someone asks what you're doing, just reply with, "I'm working as hard as I can." If this doesn't get you fired, then just forget about the other job, because this job lets you eat hot dogs all day while listening to Freak Nasty. If your company has a battery of lawyers, which I'm sure they do, there is bound to be some stipulation in tiny print somewhere that you sign that will prevent you from using this loophole. Be careful. I know someone who had a similar situation. He hated his job and wanted out, and this is what they did. He went into work and asked for a meeting with his boss. Told the boss that he was very unhappy, had issues with his coworkers, and basically talked down the place until the boss said, "If you are that unhappy, you should leave." Once he got that from the boss, he said that he understood where the boss was coming from and he appreciated him listening to his issues and thanked him and left. He went back to his desk, packed up everything and walked out with a box of his stuff, stopping by someone's cube and said that it was nice working with you and that he just got fired. Later that day, the boss finally got wind that he fired the guy and called him up and didn't understand what was going on. The guy said, "You told me I should leave," and brought up other parts of the conversation that made it sound like the boss hoped that things worked out for him in the future. The boss said it was a huge misunderstanding and wanted him to come back, and the guy kept saying, "But you fired me." The company did fight his unemployment, but the guy hired an employment lawyer, and one call from the lawyer got them to back down. How do you get fired in one day? Leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.